just don't want the victim's vulnerability and bravery to go in vain.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Because if he's then found not guilty, I'll be like, this is why victims don't want to speak out, really. Like,
it's like Epstein when literally that.
Because Cassie is really, she's really speaking and like speaking graphically of what she went through.
Yeah.
And that takes a different level of courage.
Yeah.
And because of that, especially when she's choosing to be this vulnerable now, like she finally has the strength to be, my worst fear is that it goes in vain. So I just pray that justice will prevail. But the guy is sick.
He's a psychopath.
He's actually a sick guy. Like, I will never look at him the same ever again. Ever. Sick individual.
Such a sick individual.
Mm-hmm.
An absolute psychopath. But yeah, I just hope... Yeah. Justice for all of those victims. Mm-hmm. And I just think Cassie is so brave. I can't get over how brave she is.
Honestly.
Because to speak out against someone, even when the allegations first dropped, when she first filed the lawsuit against him, that was so big because Diddy was a powerhouse. Like the level that he was at, it was almost like impossible to bring him down.
Yeah.
And she's done it.
Literally.
Because regardless of what happened, as you said, no one can ever look at him and say, it will never be the same. Do you remember even when everything came out, he started getting dropped from everything? It will never be the same.
It will never.
No one will ever take him seriously again. Like, but I think he's going to go to... I just don't think things like this can come out and it's like the jury can be like, actually... But you never know, to be honest. But
the thing is, why it could go either way is the charges that are against him.
Yeah.
Because he's not actually being charged for domestic abuse.
No, he's being charged for racketeering.
For racketeering, coercion, things like that. Like, so they have to prove that he did the crimes he's being charged. So that's why people are like, it could go either way. But I personally don't think so, because at first people were like, I get that what he did to Cassie was bad, like he even admitted it, but that's not what he's being charged for.
That's
but at the same time,
such a good point, yeah.
She has to mention that because she was one of the ones who were trafficked. Yes. So she has to explain her story, like, and that's just the story. Do you get what I mean? And I think people are looking at it like that.
Yeah.
Because she also mentioned how they would pay escorts, he would force her to do things of a sexual manner to men she didn't know.
Yeah.
Even when she didn't want to do it, he would still force her. Like, stuff with that, like that, could get him charged because that falls under that, what he's being charged with. But I think people are so focused on like, oh, she keeps talking about that video, but she has to talk about that video because the reason why she was even there is because she was doing a freak off. And that was the first time she did her freak off, that video. Was that moment. Even the security guard at that hotel was on the stand. The guy, I don't know if they got the guy who was in the room, but it was the security for that hotel who said that there was another man in that room. But honestly, I think it's going to just get worse because technically this is only day 3 and already this is...
Exactly. Like, look at the magnitude of what's come out.
So I definitely do feel like it's going to get worse. But I think we should next talk about it like either towards the end or at the end so that we have the whole story type thing.
To be fair, it's still like a developing story, but I was just like, let me just bring it up.
Of course.
That's going on. But even speaking of jail, Tory Lanez.
The man got stabbed. That's actually insane. I can't lie. I was shocked as hell.
I was shocked as well. I was like, shit.
And the fact that he's still alive. Did you not see? He got stabbed like 15 times.
And apparently it was like in the morning or something like that. So someone like that person was waiting, boy. People just go to jail. I feel like when you go to jail, you're probably like, I think because I read that the person's in there for life or something. So you're like,
yeah, they have nothing to lose.
Might as well.
I have nothing to lose.
I've already killed someone. I might as well try and kill you. Mad. But it's bringing everything back up again with the whole thing with him and Meghan and oh my god, the internet this week has actually just been mad.
It's been crazy. But to be fair, that story is like one of the very rare stories where it could have actually gone either way. I don't think it's as simple as like P. Diddy and Cassie. Like P. Diddy did that shit. But I don't know, it could be either or. One of them is lying. I just don't know which one. Like, I'm still kind of caught in the middle.
Really?
Yeah, because especially when you look at the case, I think as well, sometimes as women, we see another woman and we automatically think victim. For me, I just personally feel like Megan doesn't know who shot her, but in her mind, she's like, it doesn't make sense for my friend to shoot me, so he must have shot me. Do you get what I mean? Because she was facing, her back was towards them.
I've actually never really, actually no I have, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, I was gonna say I've never really like looked too much into it, but I remember watching her documentary. She was talking about, I can't remember.
But that's her documentary from her point of view.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's her point of view.
That's why when it comes to cases,
he did it, man.
Like if I always say this, like if you want to get into crime or like you have an interest in crime and you're a crime head, I always say go to the actual case itself.
Yeah, I've never read the case itself.
Each person is just going to tell it from their own narrative and it's going to make the other person look guilty. But like when you actually look at the case itself, there's holes in both stories. I can't lie. Like, it's not as simple as like Tory defo did it. It's kind of like OJ. Like if you really look at the case, it's like I don't really know. It could be him, but it may not be either. I definitely do think that. I personally think that it was her friend who shot her.
I feel like today.
Tory took the gun from her, and by the time Megan turned back, Tory had the gun in his hand, so she assumed it was him. That's what I personally.
But didn't she say he said dance or something, and then he shot? Or I just dreamed that?
But then even that though, she said different things. Do you get what I mean? Like her story actually hasn't remained consistent at all. Like that's the thing. Like I think people are like, because I love Megan, she has to be right. But when you really like look into the case, she has not stuck to the same story at all. At all. Because at first she would say, I saw my friend with the gun, and then the next minute she'll say, I saw Tory with the gun. And then she'll say, Tory told me to dance. And then she'll say, it all happened so quickly, I just remember being shot in the foot. Like, which mess, is it?
Man. That night, that whole...
Yeah, I just think it's such a blur. And it's very hard to point fingers. Like, I'm not the type to point fingers unless there's some kind of evidence. That's why I can talk about Diddy and Cassie, because there's hardcore evidence. The guy, she was a victim here, bro. But this he said, she said thing, I feel like society mainly just goes for who they like the most.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I mean? Yeah. Like, more than the actual truth. But, yeah, man. I mean, if he did it, to be fair, being stabbed now, it can't be for the crime. No, because he would have been stabbed by now. Look how long he's been in jail for.
There's all sorts of politics in jail. Yeah. So maybe it's a thing of just like, or sometimes people just do random attacks.
It's true.
Or actually, no, it depends. I was going to say like Jeffrey Dahmer, but Jeffrey Dahmer, I remember reading that he was like talking about what he had done and the person was like, this is enough. So they would just beat the shit out of him. But
literally. Fam, people knew him in the prison. People knew already what he was doing. And then in prison, he gave his life to Christ, but it was too late.
Who, Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I remember reading that. Yeah, he did.
He gave his life to Christ in prison, but the person was like, God can't forgive you for that. I'm sorry. I'm taking it into my own hands. And I'm not going to lie, that one, this is going to be so controversial, but there is justified killings. I'm so sorry. No, and that is one of them.
What you mean?
Like, you see, there was
get exactly what you mean, D.
Sorry, going off topic here, but really briefly, there was a guy on, like, Lad Bible, and they painted him, like, 15 minutes with a murderer. I love it.
I love them.
There was one guy, black guy from London, and they painted him as the murderer, and he said that he...
because the guy had raped.
Yeah, he raped someone he known.
That one, yeah.
He basically raped someone. He saw or witnessed a rape.
Yeah.
And basically tried to get the rapist off of him. It got too far and he killed him, basically.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he basically said, I have no remorse because you raped someone I knew. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Like, you have to go down for that shit.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like, there's certain killings that are justified for me.
I remember.
And I feel like the Jeffrey Dahmer one is one of them. you are I get that, like, people are like, yeah, but he's already in prison and all of that. How do you know he won't kill other prison people?
People really be killing people in jail, you know?
Like,
especially in American prisons. They
I'm
are
so
insane.
sorry. Like, there's certain killings that are actually justified. So they should walk free. I don't think it should even, like, I don't even think those type of killings should be viewed as manslaughter. They should actually just bust case and walk out.
It's deep.
It's deep, but I was shocked that he got stabbed, though.
Yeah, I was very shocked.
And that
like,
much.
Wow.
And the fact that he survived.
Yeah.
Because he got stabbed like 7 times in the back, 4 times in the torso, like 2 or 3 times in the head. And I was thinking, they wanted to kill him.
Yeah,
they wanted to finish him off.
wanted him done.
But then, one thing this life, it shows you, if you haven't learned anything from P. Diddy and Tory Lanez, your life can literally change like that.
Yeah.
For good or bad. You could be on the top of the world and it could be taken right from you.
Because Tory Lanez, I was so into his music. I was like, no, this guy is sick. Like, flopped, man.
I love his music, I can't lie.
He flopped.
He makes good music.
Flopped, man.
But, yeah, man, it's actually really unfortunate.
Yeah.
I can't even lie.
Yeah, it's been a wild week on the internet. Another thing, DDG.
Listen!
So, DDG,
go on, say.
Right, so, for those that don't know, DDG is he a streamer? He's also a rapper. He was dating Halle Bailey, who is a singer. She's an actress. She was in The Little Mermaid. So they got together, and when they got together, it was a very big deal, and everyone was like, why is she dating him, blah, 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 whatnot, whatever. And then she gets pregnant. There was a lot of speculation around her pregnancy. Everyone was like, she's definitely pregnant, because there were like pictures. I think TMZ papped her coming out of somewhere, and it was like, yeah, this girl is very much pregnant. And a lot of people were very angry. They were like, how could she get pregnant by DDG? Blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, they have their baby, Halo, who is so adorable, by the way. Their kid is so cute. So they were together and then they separated. And then he was doing stuff on social. There was a point I stopped keeping up with it because I was like, this is actually getting ridiculous. And it came out, I believe, yesterday when we are recording this, which was a Tuesday. Yesterday, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. She basically has filed a restraining order against him. And she was basically saying that he was abusive towards her. I think she said that she said that he pushed her head, I think, on a steering wheel, and she chipped her tooth. So that's come out. So she's now put a restraining order against him. So there's been a bit of a split kind of discussion about this. A lot of people are saying kind of like, this is why people are saying she should never have had a child with him. People are arguing back and saying, you can't say like, we told you so, blah, 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 blah. So that's the kind of discussion at the moment. What do you think, Dionté? I
saw this come. Well, I didn't see it coming, but
I didn't think it would get to this point.
Yeah, I didn't think that he would be violent.
Didn't see them be an endgame.
Yeah, but firstly, there's a lot of violence going on this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, all the 3 that we've mentioned is just violence.
It's like, what the hell was actually going on?
Where is the peace?
Where is the peace, man?
But no, this situation, although I didn't expect him to put his hands on her, I'm not shocked with the relationship demise either. No, and this is, surprised. If anything, yeah, and I hate that I'm saying this, but Halle Bailey should be an example for all these girls who are blinded by love.
Yeah.
How many times are we telling them? Even we spoke about it. This man, he's beneath her. You're settling. She didn't want to listen. She didn't want to know. When she got pregnant, we were like, don't do it. Girl, why?
And also, another thing that I didn't know. So he previously dated Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
And she also came out and basically said, I didn't know this. So she basically came out and said that he was abusive towards her, blah, blah, blah. And apparently people were warning Halle about this as well.
Yeah, she didn't give a fuck.
But she was and now look at the position.
But this is I think this is the dilemma that a lot of people face, because it's like, you were warned, low-key. You were actually warned. You could have prevented yourself from all of this. And you brought a baby into the mix, and this is just the beginning, you know.
It's so messy.
And I knew that it would be a messy situation. He's a messy guy. But also as well, people are making were also saying that, like, Halle's also not innocent, not in terms of their relationship, but in general. Like, people are saying, like, she's not as sweet and as innocent as she portrays herself to be. Like, do you remember the time with when her and her sister went to the nail shop?
No.
Oh my God, there was like a scandal, yeah. She was even still with, I think, DDG at the time. Her and her sister went to a nail shop. Let's say, for example, their nail appointment was at 2. They arrived at 4:35 and they were like, can you do my nails? And the woman said, your appointment's gone. And then they basically went on social media saying, like, this woman, we've come for our appointment, she's not taking us, can you go and flood her, da-da-da-da. Like, proper. And it was coming from Halle. And it's only when the nail tech spoke out and was like, they were like 3 hours late to their appointment.
I didn't know that.
I was already busy. They were demanding, like, but people have been saying, like, well, on TikTok anyway, I wouldn't say like a reliable source, but people on TikTok have been saying that even out of Chloe and Halle's the one even Halle apparently said it herself, like, she's the bitch out of all of them. Like, Chloe's the one who's a bit more nicer, like, it's okay. Whereas Halle's a bit more like,
a bit more like,
yeah.
I clocked that from when she was with Burna Boy. I was like, babe, please, like.
But yeah, even Halle said, like, I'm the bitch out of all of us. So it's like, although I do feel for her, but at the same time, you were warned, number one, and you didn't care. But it's like, and this is the thing where I'm kind of in two minds, because it's like, now you want sympathy. But when people were trying to warn you before, we were haters. You even called Ruby Rose added her and was like, you do not want to go down this road. And she was like, yeah, calling her a hater, she's jealous, all of this. And like, I do get that you can be under a man's spell and you can be blindly in love. But this is why we always say, be careful what you say, because there's certain things that you can't take back. And
people are waiting on your downfall.
And people are waiting on your downfall on top of that.
Left, they are there with the receipt. But especially as you are a celebrity.
Yeah, like, man. So I definitely do still feel for her, because no one should experience that. Like, it's not that deep. Do you get what I mean? But at the same time, we also need to know what we're getting ourselves into. It is vital for our health, because now that you have a child in this mix, unfortunately, this may not even be the last time that this happens, because this man is in your life forever. You can piss him off in 2 years' time, and he will do the same thing, and you can't escape it because he's your father's dad.
You are connected with these men. She is connected to that man for the rest of her existence on this earth, because they have a child together.
Yeah.
Did you see that this man was going into her house and taking pictures of her bed and saying, oh, I see what you're on, blah, 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 blah.
Literally.
A real big loser, man.
Literally. Like, the thing is, she posted receipts, and I'm definitely not on that brother's side, because I've been saying from the get-go, she's too good for him. And this is why, like, you need your own discernment as well. I think the thing that helps her is the fact that she's still so young. Like, even when she was with him, like...
She's like 24, 25?
Yeah, like, I think when they got together, she was like 22, 23.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But still, I really do think that people should use her story as a learning curve to really grow your discernment and to really think before you make certain steps. Like, the older that you get, the more I've realised, especially me, love is not enough.
At all.
It is not enough. All. Love will not keep a relationship.
At all.
It won't make it last. It needs way more than that. Relationships are hard work. No one likes to talk about it.
Yeah.
Until you're ready to get married. And all the married people are like, it's hard work. All of this, like,
it's
but...
not been easy, yeah.
Even relationships... Yes, marriage is 10 times as hard, but even relationships are hard because the love can't carry you.
Yeah.
All the days, like, when you have an argument and you can't stand them, then what? Like, it's way deeper than that. And I feel like younger people, they think, oh, because I'm in love and they're in love, it's fine.
Yeah.
But you have to see, does your life align? Like, do you share the same morals, the same values?
Yeah, you're so right.
How is your family like? Will they get on when we have family gatherings? Or is it always going to be beef? Like, these are the certain things that you have to vet out in order to have peace in your life.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, a lot of people just like the guy, and it's like, yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
And then now, look, she's now stuck in a situation that she should have never been in the first place.
I know, it's just so sad.
At the end of the day, we can't change the past. The baby's here. This has happened.
Yeah, it's a blessing. She's had a beautiful baby. But it's just now you have to be tied to this loser for the rest of your life. And then
the sad thing is, because he's a streamer, obviously now she's done, she did a restraining order, which also mentioned that they can't mention or show her or Halo on his stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know how long it's for. I don't know if there's like a deadline to it or if it's indefinitely, but as of now, he can't. And now I'm a bit worried for her because that boy loves streaming. That streaming is his livelihood, is his paycheck. And from what I've seen, people are really tuning into his streams because of Halo.
Yeah.
So now if Halo's not there and his streams go down, he can take that out on her again.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So that's why having children for someone who...
It's not serious.
He's not serious. Like, you really have to... I don't know how to even give the advice of, but you have to actively take a step back from your love goggles to see what your actual situation is.
It's so easy to be blinded.
It's so easy. Oh!
Because we've all been in situations. Like, I was even thinking the other day, like, some of the men I've done, you know, sometimes you just reflect in your life and you're just like, how the fuck did I even allow this man to come into my space?
Literally.
But you're blinded because in the moment you're not thinking of that. But when you step out of it and you see it clearly, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy was actually a waste man.
Literally. Do you know how many times I cringe at myself?
Yeah, literally, I felt sick at the thought of
I'm literally like, how could you let yourself fall for this
how
guy?
Could I even allow myself to give this guy my precious time.
It honestly feels so embarrassing, isn't it?
It's so embarrassing.
It feels so embarrassing.
Yeah, it's actually so embarrassing.
But like, I think this is why as well you need a good support system.
Yeah.
And one thing that I would say as well, which I feel like I should have listened to, is like, if more than one person is telling you the same thing, especially when they're not in the same friend group, they're more than likely telling the truth.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have a cousin who said, yeah, your boyfriend ain't shit, but then you also have a friend who's never met your cousin and it's like, yeah, your boyfriend ain't shit.
Sometimes people will say things, you're just like, pinch of salt. But if it's coming from like different
sources, but they're all saying the same thing.
Yeah. Because people outside of it see it better. Mm-hmm. And you know it when you're dealing with a guy and you talk to your friends about it and they tell you things, sometimes you don't want to hear it, but it's not just coming from... Sometimes you do need the outside, to an extent, I would say, but
But that's why you need to know, like, who's really for you and who isn't.
Yeah.
Because I think it is important to know that, like, okay, it's not just in my head, like, this is a good guy, or, oh, God, it is in my head, it's a bad guy. Like, I definitely do feel like we need that.
Yeah.
I think when the advice starts going beyond that is when it's like, all right, relax.
Yeah.
But if it's a thing where it's like, I really don't think this guy is good for you, you know?
Yeah.
I really don't because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes that's what we have to think about. If we're so stuck in our ways, it's like, this is when falling in love with potential. She fell in love with potential.
Potential, yeah.
She did. You were a whole little mermaid and this guy was trying to take the attention away from you. Even from then, before she had Halo, I said, this is not going to last.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame that we're at this point. But I just pray that very soon that DDD matures and just leaves her alone.
I know, honestly.
Because I think once he leaves her alone, then he'll get more access to his son and then you'll be able to do content with your son.
Yeah.
But because you always have to keep bringing her into it, like, cut it off now.
Yeah.
Like, it's enough.
Yeah.
Yay, gosh.
No.
These things really make me happy, low-key, that I'm single.
No, honestly.
On the days when I get lonely and stuff. And then you get these.
I literally said this to someone the other day, I was like, because I'm ovulating at the moment, I was like feeding it a bit. Mm-hmm. Then you hear something like, you know what?
Let me go to my bed.
You know? I'm actually right. It's just a blip in the road. I'm fine. It's a scary place to be in, guys, but honestly, sometimes I think of the stress that men can just come and put on your head. And I think, you know what?
The stress is not worth it.
I'm alright.
The stress is actually not worth it. Like,
I stress myself, can't come and die.
I would rather settle for the person who's right for me, because I know no one's perfect, but the person who's right for me,
rather than
it's
being
just
in a
one and
situation with the
done.
wrong person.
Yeah,
because look at now,
because now she has to start over again,
and that baby's not even 2. So you have to go through this until he's 18 and can be deciding what to do.
Past that, because when Halo gets a wife now, they both have to attend that wedding. When Halo has his first child, they're both going to be grandparents to that child. It will never end until one of them dies. It's not about 18. It keeps going. Yes. When he graduates, if he goes to uni, he'll be about 21. If he goes at 18.
And you still have to come
and you still have to sit next to this man saying, yay, graduation.
Yeah, the parent always like, these are my parents. You're just like, oh, yeah.
Nah, man.
Yeah, it's long.
That's long. Like, that's one of my worst fears. And the thing is, you actually can't.
You can't prevent it.
Yeah, like, you can't.
I don't think people intentionally go into... I think some people do think, I just want to have a baby or whatever. But I think a lot of the time, a lot of people go into this situation with someone thinking it's going to be a forever situation, and it's just not.
Definitely. I
really
100%
sad.
agree. I don't think that anyone goes into it thinking, like, I'm going to be a baby mom. But I also feel like people go into it without CRB checks. Yeah. You're going into it blindly. I'm just hoping that it's going to be that, but you're not clocking, like, what is your actual man about? Yeah. Do you get what I mean? And that's where we go wrong. Yeah. It's like, we don't go into it thinking, we're thinking like, oh, we're going to be with them forever, but this is just our feelings. Yeah. But in reality, can you actually get a mortgage out with this guy? You're there crying over a guy who can't even get, his credit score is 0. He can't even get he can't even do rent. He can't even get a Nokia phone contract. Because of his credit score. Nah. But you're there saying, oh, but we love each other. Your future is not set.
It's not safe.
This is why logic has to coincide with love.
With love, yes.
I think that's the only way that we have more of a chance of having a successful relationship. Yeah. But I think, especially this generation, is just like, I'm hot, you're hot, let's get together.
Let's have a kid. The kid will be
let's have a kid. Yeah. I just love, like, and this is why my heart hurts for Halle, because it was so preventable.
I know.
You really could, like, we saw this from day, like, if only. But at the end of the day, we have to deal with the decisions we make in life, man.
But now she's got to deal with that.
Now she has to deal with it. And it's such a shame, because I hate that for her.
I know, it's so sad.
The good thing is that she did everything correct. She didn't come on the internet. She went straight to the authorities.
Yeah, do you know what? I think she's handled it very well. She's put her restraining order in and she's like, you know what? Bam, this is it. Leave me alone. And I respect it.
I respect it as well.
Yeah, I think she's handled it quite well. Mum. Woo! Right, guys. Flipping out. It's been heavy today, isn't it?
Heavy.
Right, guys. So it is now time for group chat confession. So this one has been sent into us, so I will just get straight into it. So this one says, is my boyfriend an enemy of progress?
No, man, yeah. What is it with these men?
Men have really just been men have just been rubbish today, man.
Honestly.
They've been terrible. Okay, so is my boyfriend an enemy of progress? My boyfriend used to be a total gym rat. Super active, eating clean, and even doing a bit of PT work on the side. When we first met, he actually encouraged me to get more into fitness. I was active before we met, then fell off. I was never overweight, but being around him definitely made me more serious. I got into a strict routine and lost a lot of body fat, and now I'm really toned. I feel amazing in my body and I look good. Yes, love that for you, girl. The twist? As I've become more disciplined, he's done the opposite. He stopped working out altogether, eats really unhealthily, and has gained weight. He's not the same person lifestyle-wise that I started dating. Here's the part that's messing with my head. Every time I hit a fitness or personal goal, he celebrates by buying me my biggest temptations, sugary snacks. I love sugar, but I've been actively cutting it out to stay on track. The first time I hit a goal, he brought home a box of cinnamon buns. I told him I appreciated the thought, but asked him not to do that again. He got a bit defensive and called it a treat. Then it happened again. This time with M&M based waffles from Creams, in brackets, my fave. I called him out again and he claimed he forgot and didn't mean anything by it. But now I'm noticing a pattern. When I'm with him, there's always junk food around and he knows it's my weakness. Part of me wonders if he's trying to sabotage me consciously or unconsciously. Or maybe I'm reading too much into it and he's just being a clueless but well-meaning gift giver. Am I tripping or is there something deeper going on here?
Your man is an enemy of progress. He is very jealous of you. He's a hater. He's a hater. Listen, he hates the fact that he's gained weight and all of a sudden you've lost weight. And the thing is, I've actually been in these type of situations before. Like, because you may or may not be able to tell, but I used to be a lot bigger a few years back. I've still gained a bit, but it's not that bad as how I used to be from before then. And like not all, but a couple of like my friends and family who were slimmer than me at the time are now bigger than me now. And like I've seen with like one or two, you can tell that like they're not really happy about that situation. Like, and it will be things of they're constantly bringing up how you used to be big. Like, there'll be someone and it's like, do you remember when you used to be this big? And I'm like, yeah, but that was 7 years ago. Let's talk about the now. Type thing. Like, they'll always bring up, like, remember when you used to be, like... But I feel like her man is giving her the same thing. Like, because sometimes as well, there's people on this earth who really do believe that, like, because he met her big, he probably thought, oh, yeah, I would be the fit one. Or if I get big, she will just remain big. And then it's like they're shell-shocked when you get up and you're like, you know what, enough's enough. I don't want to be this size anymore. I want to be healthy. I want to do this. And actually, it works. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? I don't think he expected her to fully commit to it to the point where she's now toned. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and to be fair, for once, in this instance, I wouldn't actually say leave, because it could be a thing where he may not be fully aware that he's doing this out of jealousy. So I think it's more of like a discussion that you kind of need to have again, and to be honest and transparent and say, to be honest, or even help your man. He may not like it, but even say, I could notice that you've kind of fallen off in your diet. I noticed that you're not really that comfortable about yourself. I kind of feel like you're taking it out on me. But we can actually get through this goal together and both of us can be healthy. And like, if you want to get back on track, come to the gym with me. Like, we can cook meals together. You don't have to do this alone. I think it's just providing that reassurance for him that we can do this together.
Yeah.
And I also kind of feel like, especially with men, when stuff like this happens, they feel like she's going to go and get someone better because now that she's toned and slim type thing. So he's trying to keep her how she used to be so that she's not as desirable, so men don't want her. But that's not going to help your situation. You have to deal with what you're going through.
Yeah.
And I definitely do feel like he's jealous the fact that it's switched.
Yeah.
That he was the fit one and now it's the other way around. But I honestly do feel like he should... I wish more men could be vulnerable and say, do you know what? I hate that it's come to this point where I'm the unhealthy one. I want us both to be healthy. I think this is the thing, yeah. Majority of these group chat confessions could actually be solved with deep communication.
Yeah.
But I just think a lot of people aren't at a place in their life when they're that vulnerable to do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's the main way that your relationship will survive.
Yeah.
Is if you're vulnerable and honest in your communication. Because if he went to her and was like, do you know what, babe? Although I am happy that you've changed your lifestyle and you feel better, you're healthier, I do feel a bit of a type of way that, like, I've fallen off. Do you get what I mean? Especially because I'm sure she would be like, babe, let's do this together. Like,
definitely.
Especially as a couple, do these type of things together. Like, it doesn't have to be a competition thing. And I feel like there's a lot of people who view their partner as competition.
Yeah.
Like, well, if she's fit, then I have to be fit. And if I'm not fit, then I'm a loser. When really it's a partnership.
Yeah.
When one is slacking and you go to the other and say, listen, I'm slacking in this department, the other person can help you and be like, come, let's do this together. You should both want the best for each other.
Mm.
So if you see that your man doesn't want the best for you, it's very hard to sustain that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't advise to sustain that, but I think definitely have that conversation.
Yeah.
And take it from there. If you do have that conversation and he's still not changing, it could be a different story. But what do you think?
You've hit the nail on the head, to be honest. You've hit the nail on the head. I think the world is quite fatphobic. And I think people have this opinion that people that are bigger in size are extremely insecure.
Yeah.
And they can be easily manipulated, and because the world looks at you so differently. I was having this conversation actually with someone the other day, and she was saying to me that she went on holiday with her partner, and she was like, her and her partner used to be a lot bigger, and they both worked together. They've lost a lot of weight, and she was like, when they were on holiday, she was like, a lot more people wanted to talk to them, a lot more people wanted to be around them, a lot more people, like, they just exuded this energy, and people were so, like, they just attract. She was like, it was so weird to me because they'd never had that on holiday before. She was like, when we were a lot bigger in size, people would not talk to us on holiday. And she was like, we were literally like having people like coming up to us all the time. And she was like, I don't know if it's because I like exuded like a different energy and like a level of confidence. And I was like, maybe it was that. But then I was like, the world is actually quite fatphobic as well. They'll probably like, oh, look at this attractive couple. We're just going to go and talk to them. Yeah. I think a lot of people just think when people are bigger in size, they're like so insecure.
Yeah, or they're lazy.
Yeah, or it's just like they just hate themselves. Yeah. So I think maybe it was one of those things that when he first got with her, it could have been that. It could have been a thing of like, oh, yeah.
I know.
And then now that she's a lot more confident in herself, she's carrying herself differently, and maybe that's making him feel insecure, and he's threatened by that. So he's like, you know what, I'm going to try and sabotage it. Let me give you this so you can put in a bit of weight, so you can feel how I feel. I think it's probably one of those situations.
What's so unfortunate, because that type of energy shouldn't really be coming from your partner
at all.
That's something that comes from like strangers or
it should not
an ex-friend. Like, it shouldn't be coming from your man.
Yeah.
But it's definitely correct. Like, people do treat you differently when you're smaller. From when I was bigger, don't get me wrong, I still got attention, but like, I guess when I got smaller, the attention was different.
Yeah.
So like, when I was bigger, I would more get attention from like the African uncles or like people who were born and raised in Africa, whatever. But I feel like once I lost the weight, it's almost like the pool of men were way broader. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, you never gave me the time of day. Why are you giving me the time of day now? And it's so weird because when it first happens, you low-key don't know how to feel, because it's like, okay, but if I'm bigger, you would have never given me the time of day.
Yeah.
So if I become big again, would you still like me?
Yeah.
Type thing. And it's a very awkward thing to go through, because you don't know. It's like, it's genuine, but then for example, if I went on holiday to the same country, you wouldn't have noticed me when I was bigger.
Yeah.
But now you're noticing me now, and I'm supposed to just be like, yeah, you're genuine.
Yeah.
Type thing. It's a very hard thing to grasp, but unfortunately, that's just the reality of the situation. Yeah. The world is fatphobic.
Yeah.
They will view you differently if you're bigger. We even talked about at the beginning of this episode with sinners.
Yeah. Exactly.
And all of that. Like,
such a good point, yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just what the world is like. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And we just have to go through it as best as we can. But I think, in this situation, she needs to talk to her partner one last time. Yeah. If he still doesn't
try
listen,
to help him, like you said.
Because I think as well, like, this generation is so big on like, just leave him. Yeah. But like, there's certain things, try and see if you can work through them.
Yeah.
And if you can't, then at least when you leave, you can say, I've tried everything and it didn't work. But I don't want people to go, or obviously unless it's like abuse or whatever, leave, bro.
Yeah.
But if it's not that and you're just having kind of quarrels like this, I definitely think she should give the benefit of the doubt once.
Yeah.
Say how you really feel. And then if he's still kind of doing the same thing, I think she should talk to him again and say, to be honest, I don't feel like you're ready to handle me in my new era of life. So I have to think about taking a step back. And it's okay to say that as well before you actually do. Because I think a lot of men really do believe that, like, if I'm with a woman, she's never going to want to leave. So it doesn't matter what I do, she's going to stay.
Yeah.
But I think it's also healthy to show that, like, there's certain things that I will tolerate and I will not tolerate.
Yeah.
And if you're continuing, I have to tell you I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Because then they'll realise that actually me continuing this way, I'm going to lose her. But just have one more conversation. If it doesn't work, toss it, man.
Yeah.
Toss it. Honestly, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's really not worth it. Take it from us.
Honestly,
it is not worth. We tried, man. We gave men the benefit of the doubt, and it got us nowhere. Nowhere. It's better to be alone and be sure in yourself than to go in a relationship with deep insecurities.
Definitely.
You will never be happy, I promise you from now.
You will never.
You may start off that way and it's like, oh, we're going to another conference, he's taking me to hotels and putting rose petals on the bed. And once that stops, because it will stop.
Yeah.
When it's with the wrong person, it will stop. And then you realise, fam, this is not it.
No, honestly.
It's not it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, these relationships are hard though. Okay, so we are coming towards the end of the episode. So you already know what time it is. It is time for us to wind down. Down. Oh my god, that was a banger. You down. The sky is falling down. Jay Sean, where are you? He had do you remember the Boy Better Know version? No, that was Stay. He did like a Boy Better Know version of Won't You Stay? Oh, I used to love the Boy Better Know version. That's when I fell in love with Skepta.
I'll listen to that on the way home.
I'm going to show you.
I'll listen to it.
I'm going to show you, don't worry.
Yeah, show me, because that's so funny.
So, my wind down question for episode 30. So, as we all know, there's been rumours that there's going to be a Real Housewives of London and a Baddies UK. So, I thought that it would be cute to ask, like, if you could do, like, top 3 for Baddies UK and top 3 for Real Housewives of London.
Yeah.
Who would you nominate? Like, if someone asked you, put 3 people in Real Housewives, 3 people in Baddies UK. Who are you nominating for each?
For Baddies, Miss Are Fabulous.
100!
Baddies that can exist in this United Kingdom and not have Miss Are Fabulous.
Speak on it.
Put her on it.
She needs to be on that. That is made for her.
Don't even do the show if she's not on it. If they announce that lineup, because one thing about me, I'm going to watch it, innit?
Yeah.
If they announce that lineup and I don't see Miss Are Fab, I'm not watching it. What's the point?
100%.
I'm not watching it. Miss Are Fab needs to be, that was made for her.
She needs to be
on
Baddies.
Let her get that bag for herself and her daughter. Put her in it.
Yeah, man.
Miss Are Fab would need to be in it. Mm-hmm. I would put UK Thanos.
Oh, yeah, I've got that on my list as well. She has to be there.
She would shut that show down.
100%.
She needs to be there.
100%. UK Thanos
not on it?
needs to be on that.
UK Thanos needs to be there. Who's my third person?
Mate.
Who's in this UK that could go on?
Who was my third person?
For me, as soon as she said it, I was like, Miss Are Fab, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. Who else could be there?
I'm
trying to think. There was the do you know what? I think Lani Good, you know.
Do you think?
I think she could work in there. I think
she could. She could.
I think she could.
I put down Madam Joyce, but only for like
interesting
comic relief. Because I know
interesting.
For me as a viewer. Anyway, me personally, I don't watch Baddies. Like I
don't watch Baddies.
I just think like it's very. We're going in a bad direction when it comes to black women with that. So I don't like to support it.
Nah,
but
too much for me.
I would put Madam Joyce in there because when I used to watch like Bad Girls Club and stuff, there was always one who kind of provided comic relief.
Good vibes.
Yeah, like I feel like she would provide good vibes, comic relief. Like when it's time to go out, everyone will get on with Madam Joyce, whether they're beefing or not. I feel like if everyone's just on fighting, I'll get bored.
Yeah.
And I feel like we need that balance of like, even when people are arguing, I can imagine her giving ad-libs and you're like, oh my God, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
So I put her there, but not for fighting, but just purely for vibes and comic relief.
Okay, that's a very interesting choice, actually.
And Real Housewives, who are you picking?
Melissa's wardrobe.
Oh, 100%.
Who else is there?
Who do I have? Let me see. Okay, I've got Melissa's wardrobe, Patricia Bright.
Yes, that was my second one, Patricia Bright. Yeah, Patricia Bright, definitely.
I've actually got Rochelle from the Saturdays.
Yes, perfect.
Those three, I feel like will be...
Dionté,
perfect. They literally like ooze the Real Housewives.
Ooze it.
Like, because as well, it's such a... I think when people... Well, not all, but I think when certain people, especially in the Black community, think of Real Housewives, they automatically think of Atlanta.
That was literally my thought. But Atlanta.
But like with Real Housewives, I want there to be like actual wives, like who have established careers, like, and you see, I don't want it to be another baddies.
No, it needs to be people
like, and I feel like really Atlanta is. That's why it's so successful, because of the drama.
Yeah. That
it doesn't even like half the people, or I don't know now, but there was a point where half the people weren't even married.
Yeah.
They were just there because you bring drama. Like, and I want to bring that essence back. Like, I want to show a different side to Black women. It's not every day us being dramatic and drama and we're being all loud and all of this. Like, I want to show the classy side of like, we're very versatile.
Yeah.
It's not just, all the time. Do you get what I mean? And that's why I find it hard to support baddies. That's why, especially when I heard that baddies was coming to Africa, I can't lie, I was low-key offended. Because you're bringing your bad vibes into that.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
Did you not see the viral clip that went around? Like, they're already there. They've started showing it.
Where are they?
I'm guessing
Nigeria. In Lagos. I knew it.
But like,
I'm not gonna say because they want the boys.
I don't know though. That one I don't know because I don't watch it. But it seems like
I wouldn't be
they went to Nigeria.
If they were in Lagos because of the rich men.
But like, there were two women who were fighting, and I think they got like tribal dancers. But like the way the tribal dancers were looking at them, like they looked so disappointed. Like it was like, ugh, like why are you doing this? Are you serious? Like, come on. You could see the disappointment in their faces. And I was thinking, you're really bringing this drama to Africa. And then you're going to say Baddies Africa, like Africa's like this.
Yeah, no. I don't think I like that. Baddies I don't watch Baddies. Yeah. For me, it's just, I had to draw a line.
It's so low vibrational and ghetto.
I had to draw a line with my Ratchet TV.
Like. Yeah. Because at least with Bad Girls Club, I used to love me some Bad Girls Club.
Bad Girls Club was so lit.
But at least with that, it was kind of there originally to kind of rehabilitate the bad girls.
Yeah.
So like,
and they eventually have a rehabilitation, but with baddies, I think they just
There's none. It's just, you're just fighting. That's it. Because they would literally bring a therapist halfway through Bad Girls Club and talk about their issues and all of that. Like,
they tried to rehabilitate.
Yeah. But I feel like with baddies, it's just like, people just like to watch people fight.
Yeah.
And like to the point where people are actually fighting for no reason.
Yeah. I do like fighting in my reality TV. I'm not gonna I do like a bit of ratchetness. I'm a bit roused. Like I love that stuff. But with like, so for example, like Love and Hip Hop, I would love it because sometimes I watch like reality TV and I'm like, people need to fight because
there's certain situations.
But there's certain situations where you're like, you need to beat the shit out of her. But then there's other times when you're like, okay, but what are you actually fighting for? Because in Love and Hip Hop, sometimes the fighting did make sense.
Yeah.
But with baddies, I feel like they just take them to places and they just beat each other up. And it's like, what are you not even fighting for?
What are you actually fighting for?
Yeah.
And then after that, you go out and go to the club, knock out, get drunk, and then fight again. Like it's the same thing, but you're just going to different places.
It's too much. I can't get into it.
It's not good. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't want to be perceived as that.
Yeah.
As a Black woman, and I don't want other Black women to be perceived as that.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that it's so popular. But I definitely feel like Real Housewives of London, if they get the people that we've said, I think it can really reinforce that, like, we can be classy. Yeah. We're not all ratchet. We're not all like this. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we picked a good lineup for both.
Very good. Fair. Yeah, I had Melissa's Wardrobe and Patricia Bright, but I didn't think of Rochelle.
Yeah, I thought of Rochelle because. And the one thing I like about all of them, they're all married. Yeah. They all have their family, but they also have their own shit going on, and that would be interesting. They're boss babes, and that's what I want to personally see. Like, yes, drama is good, but I'd love to have a show where, like, you feel motivated at the end of it. Like, oh, right, Melissa's Wardrobe's doing all that.
Exactly, or, she's a boss.
Rochelle's doing all of that. Like, like this. I need to be like that. Like, I want positive role models, and I hate the fact that baddies are being viewed as role models. Like, I saw a girl on TikTok when they came to London, she was crying at meeting one of them. And I was thinking, if that was my daughter, the way I would slap you.
No, I'm sorry. For real, man.
I would slap. What do you mean? But yeah, man, I think that would be a good lineup.
Yeah, very good lineup.
I think it would be a good lineup. Yeah. But yeah, man. But it seems we have come to the end of episode 30.
Big 30.
Big 30. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in thus far. If you've made it to episode 30, we really, really appreciate your support. We thank you so much.
Honestly, thank you guys.
Honestly, if you want to see more of us, please feel free to add us on our socials. Both the podcast and our individual socials will be in the description below on both YouTube and Spotify. If you have any either wind down questions or group chat confessions, please continue to send them to us and we'll gladly read them out. Obviously, we'll make them anonymous so no one will know that you've sent them in. But on that note, Rashida, cheers to episode 30.
Guys. Cheers.
See you later.
See you in the next episode, guys.